Hey there, and welcome to another edition of Love and Money. Hot topic, guys, hot topic. You need a cuppa of tea, hot chocolate, something, and sit down with a nice blanket in this. Well, depends. If you're in Mombasa, then you don't need to. But anyway, today is going to be different because I have with me my aunt and my mom who are going to just authentically share with us their stories to help me answer a question that I got. And the question that I got from this particular person who attended a Love and Money event was that she's a stay-at-home mom. Her husband works and takes care of all the finances. She has no idea whether they have what kind of assets they have, whether they're in debt or not. But she's provided for, she's comfortable, she's happy. And so she's like, I feel like I need to be a bit more involved, but I don't even know how to. It's been 10 years of marriage. And at this stage, I don't even know how to even start getting into that conversation. So help me help her. Because I think there's several women who are in that situation as well.
I am that woman. I was in that situation. But I must say that when you are in it, you do not know you are in it.
Okay.
All right? You're young, you do not know about things, so you just watch. Like I said, I always say, you don't get a pamphlet saying you how to be a good wife or how to be a good. So you work with, you wait and you learn every day. And mostly when you get married young, you do not question so much, because if that you're saying the lady has her husband doing everything for her, what else do you want? If he's shopping, he's doing everything, buying everything, why are you complaining?
Well, so here's the thing. I mean, he could die tomorrow, right?
Yeah.
You have no idea what bills are paid, how they're paid, where the money comes from, what the bank account is, which bank we have our money in. And so if you're in that situation and your husband dies, and then? So that's really my issue there. But maybe let's hear, you said you were that.
Yes.
Yeah, you were that.
And
person.
you know, like I said, when you're young, you do not think of death, you do not think of consequences. You are in love, you love this man, and that's it.
Yeah. And
you think that, you know, a man provides everything, and he is providing. So what are you looking for? What do you want to dig deeper into what he does, or how much he earns, or how much we own? So you're relaxed. This man loves you. He buys you everything you want, everything you want, whatever he'll buy you. So you don't see the need of getting into the wagon together with him and working things out.
And you were not curious when it was your situation?
For me, it was difficult, because if I asked for something, he would shut me up by hitting me. Yeah? And, you know, like to scare me, like, you know, never to ask that again. I always used to get into trouble because I say, what's that? And I'll get into trouble. So, there is no perfect way of why I did what I did, because I knew that this is it. This is the way things are. He's a wonderful man. What else do you want? But
he's a wonderful man.
Yes.
But he was hitting you.
Yeah.
She deserved it, so she thinks. To come back to even that question, one of the things I'm thinking to myself, how beautiful it is when a man provides fully for a woman. I mean, you don't need to work. You're provided for in every way. I think that's one thing I really missed as a young woman, to be provided for fully. I mean, you can sleep, drink, and just enjoy life, and everything comes your way.
Yes.
And you're looking at a woman who enjoyed it that way. Auntie Alice had whatever she needed. Her husband provided. And I never forget that I always came home and said to my husband, excuse me? Why can't you be like George? I mean, really? Wake up! And he bought me a plaque, which I still have to this day. I'll show you just now. The grass next door may look greener, but it's just as hard to cut.
Yeah.
Now, one thing I do know is that it's marvelous to be provided for. But I'm so glad I was not provided for in that level, because it taught me to be independent to a certain level and to be able to find for myself. So when she's wondering what it is that she needs to do because she's provided for everything, I think she has a point there. And what would you say about that, Auntie Alice?
I think it's not a good thing not to care. It's not a very bright thing. It isn't, absolutely. And from where I am, I'll do it differently.
Okay.
If I have to start all over again, I'll do it differently. I'd get involved in a nice way because I would not be scared. I used to carry myself in such a way that, I mean, I'm always the underdog. I'm always down there. I used to look like this person is so tall, he's so bad, he's going to do something, it's going to hurt me. But that's not the proper way to do things. I'll do it completely different.
So in that same situation, with the Uncle George, I remember, by the way, was so charming. So this is like, who is this you're talking about? But anyway, how would you do it differently? Like, you know, you're still afraid of him. You're still afraid to ask. I mean, you probably don't even know what question to ask. Because if he says, I have my money in a money market fund, you'd be like, huh, where is that? You know? Or I have my money tied up in real estate. What does that even mean? Especially if you were young. I think you were married at 19. 19.
And he was 26.
You know, so at 19, I didn't even know what a current account and the difference between a current account and a savings account were at that time. And you were a mother.
Yes.
So what would you do differently, and how would you have done it differently? Or if it was your situation now, what would you do differently?
I think you should put apart. I would put away the fear of him as a person.
Okay.
Yeah, and get involved much more.
Yeah.
And assert myself a bit more. Yeah, like Jenny is saying here, I did not. I think maybe I was a coward.
Let me tell you what that is. That is a low self-esteem, and many women suffer that. As a young woman, you are not sure of who you are. You're still searching for your identity. And so you've got this macho man who knows everything, you see. So she says she's afraid of him because he was like a daddy figure, the smart man, the one who knows everything about investments, what needs to be bought, what needs to happen, how children are raised, and you are just a receiver or a recipient. And so it's not that there's anything wrong with that. It's just that you had not grown up, Auntie Alice. You are still a young woman who had not found herself. So when you say you'd have more courage, I get this. That now that you know who you are and you're confident, you would be able to be a bit of an equal partner. That's what I see.
Wow. So, okay. So now for somebody who's there now, who's watching us have this conversation, right? Or listening in. You know, 30-year-old, married with 2-3 children, and is feeling inadequate in being able to provide some, not even leadership, but provide even ideas or to contribute towards their financial situation in their marriage. Yeah, what would you say to them?
I would say to them, welcome to the club and well done for feeling that way. Because that means you are desiring to grow. You desire to be a co-partaker in this relationship. You are desiring to make a difference in the union of marriage. And you're desiring to be a partner just as God had intended. That it's not good for a man to be alone. I will give him a suitable companion who will support. And that's what you're looking for. Not just a passive supporter, but an active supporter. And so when you feel that way, I think it's the beginning of a journey. And that journey, first and foremost, you need to be able to ask yourself, who am I? Where do I want to go? And how do I want to go with it? Now, when it comes to finances, it's rather a very emotional topic. And that's why Auntie Ali says, whenever she asked, where did you get that money, or what do we do here with money? It's shut up. I mean, who are you to ask those questions? So if this lady asking the question has not been hindered to entering into that zone, then she can welcome herself in. Nobody has told you not to. You just see yourself as one who should not be participating. When I hear Auntie Ali say that when she asked the question, she either got a slap or was ignored, it tells me that she had not yet acquired a level of maturity to have the wisdom of engaging with somebody. It's a question of engaging without threatening the other person, so that together, can we talk about this? At that level, they want to talk about is drinking, love, and honey. So when do you bring finances, you burst the bubble. So what are you? So
Yeah.
you only want romance. Let's
Okay.
talk about money.
So you, except for her situation, it was different, right? Because this particular example I've given with the question, she's a stay-home mom, but you were not a stay-home mom.
I was not a stay-home mom.
You worked.
I used to work.
Yeah.
But I used to give all the money to him.
Everything.
All my money, everything.
You even ran a business. He opened a shop for you sometime.
And I would not even touch a cent from the shop. He'd come and collect the money and put it in the bank. And if he didn't put it in the bank, I'd just keep quiet.
Question is, who stopped you from paying yourself?
How would I pay myself? We have to discuss it.
No, I know that. Question is, you put all the money in the bank,
Yes.
and he was the sole signatory,
He was a sole signatory.
Yes.
and you got no salary,
No.
and you got no allowance.
Nothing.
What stopped that? Everybody, has to earn for what their hands do.
But she was provided for.
Yeah.
So if she needed anything, the shopping was done, you
Yes.
said?
Yes. He used to come and do my hair. Wait with me when I do my hair. And he pays everything. So it is that comfort zone. My man is giving me all that.
Did that switch at some point?
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
And how did that look?
Not very nice.
So you felt like, look, I need a bit of flexibility here with decisions? or
yes.
What was it that
When,
switched?
yes.
Yeah.
I said, why can't you give me the money
Yeah.
at the end of the month so that I can put it into my hair, I
Yeah.
can put it in whatever, and even something for the house or whatever. And I was asked, who has been advising you?
Wow.
Who has been telling you things? I said, no one, just me. He told me, there's nothing like that. What do you need money for? I said, no, I'll pay for it. So I was taken away from any kind
Okay, so
of
how much? So
money.
you need, to buy lipstick,
Yes.
or you need to
Yes.
go to the spa, or I don't know, whatever.
No, I'm not allowed.
Oh, you're
to
not
go to
allowed?
the spa. No.
Okay.
I'll be advised by other women who are smart. Like Auntie Jenny. Not allowed.
Wow.
So I was not. No, I could not. He would not even give me 2 shillings to go and do my eyebrows or whatever, because he was gonna pay.
So he needed to be there.
Yes.
The service is finished,
Yes.
and then he pays.
Yes.
Okay,
I
interesting.
guess that's an ego thing,
Yeah,
as you know.
yeah.
It's an ego thing because at the end of the day, it's about power and control.
Yeah.
And when you don't allow not only a wife, but even a child, someone else to have a level of independence, it means that you are really controlling them. But the thing about it, I must admit, is that you enjoyed every bit of it.
Yes. I mean, I was enjoying because I thought that. Let me tell you, when he said, I kept on thinking that maybe this is wrong, this is right. So when you talk about it, and he thumbs you back down, then you wake up and you wonder, what
am I even
Yes,
complaining
what am I? Yeah, what am I complaining about? He's coming, he's paying. So what do I need money for? That is this, like Auntie Jenny is saying. I was not mature enough to think, or even to be bold enough to be, aggressive about whatever I asked. It was like, fine, man, this is good. It's
Yeah.
good life, man. My husband is wonderful.
Wow.
Well, he was wonderful.
He
if you
was.
ask me. I mean, he was wonderful. He did everything right.
Yeah.
But that's where the question comes as you grow older. I know there are many women that don't work today, and the reason that they are not working is because their husband doesn't want them to.
Yeah.
I also know that Auntie Alice was in a good job, and one day the husband said, I want you out of the job. For me, my job was everything. So for her to resign was like, have you really thought about this? Do you really want to do this?
Yeah.
Because it gives you a level of independence.
It does, yeah.
And it also gives you the money at the end of the day. But, well, George says I need to quit, so I need to quit. I mean, it's not for whether or, it's a directive, so to speak.
Yes.
And the directive seems a directive of concern and care. And so I think there was no suspicion about it. But after quitting your job, I've never seen you so miserable.
Thank you.
Really?
It was horrible.
So for me, my take home is first, don't get married at 19.
Oh,
Like, my goodness, you know nothing.
Nothing.
Yeah.
Yes.
You have
Nothing.
no confidence. You don't even know who you are.
I-
So you have
thank
no
you.
business getting married
You
at
have
19.
you
No
don't know who
way.
you are.
I'll tell to say, please, to say, oh my God, don't even think about it.
Yeah.
Secondly, so I think from 25 up is okay.
Yeah.
Maybe 24 at
think
the minimum,
least.
at the yeah.
Yes.
And then it's an issue of equipping yourself. So maybe you're 20 and you got married already. So it's about educating yourself and equipping yourself with the knowledge to be able to contribute from a point of knowledge.
Yes.
You know, in your relationship, in
Exactly.
every aspect, right? Whether it's a kid's education, whether it's finances, whether it's whatever it is, yeah?
How can you be a contributor when you don't even know?
When you don't know, yeah, you can't.
So you cannot. Yeah.
And then when choosing your partner, yeah, that's interesting that you were afraid of him because he knew everything.
Yeah.
He was confident, he was
Street
old. How much
wise.
older was he?
7 years.
Or 7 years older.
Yeah.
For a 19, that's a bit.
That's
a bit
yeah.
of an age
Yeah,
difference.
so that's he was 26.
At 30 is okay, but at 19,
Yeah,
it's
7 years is a long time.
It's a long
It's
time.
a big
Yeah.
age gap. Okay, so maybe what we'll do is get another filling of our drinks.
Oh, sure.
And
I
then
need
I have another
one.
question. So as we take a short break, I will come back with a different question that I personally have. See you guys and subscribe if you haven't. God bless you. Bye.